Welcome to The Disappearing Mind, a unique podcast helping you find clarity and support along your dementia journey. Now, join National Dementia Trainer and Coach Dawn Platt for an all-new episode.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. Happy holidays to everyone out there listening. I am continuing this week with a topic that I started, a holiday series that we're going to talk about several tips that I hope will be helpful to you as you walk the dementia journey. This week, we're going to talk about a few other items that I think might be beneficial to you on your dementia journey. So let's go ahead and get into it. We know that holidays can be just a joyous time, but they can also present us with some obstacles as we're caring for a loved one and trying to preserve memories or create new memories in and around an individual with dementia. I understand and I hope that these tips will be helpful to you. Travel tips for families with dementia. We need to really consider traveling in and around the holidays for a number of reasons. We need to talk about preparation, airport assistance if you're flying, dementia-friendly accommodations to help us make our travel and our trips smoother. So whether you're going by bus, by car, by plane, it's really important to think about travel tips or what this is going to look like during the holiday season. There are a number of things I want you to consider, and the first one is consider leaving a day or two early if you have an extended trip. If possible, it's going to be important to avoid the rush. Don't put your loved one or an individual with dementia in a stressful environment, such as a busy airport or rush hour traffic or those sorts of things. This is going to present possible opportunity for triggered reactions and maybe even behaviors simply because of the stress in and around crowded spaces, rush hour traffic, the whole hustle and bustle of the holidays. Try and plan your travel, if you're going to be traveling, around the person's routine to reduce stress and confusion. People ask me all the time, do I tell them in advance? Well, you can do that, but I would recommend that you wait and begin to build up to it until a few days before you're going to be taking the journey and the trip. I would provide a lot of reinsurance around that, and I would continue to remind them in a very calm manner that we're going to be visiting our favorite relatives, our favorite friends, that we're going to have a great time during this journey. You need to inform people around you, such as airline staff or hotel staff, about the special needs of your loved one. If this person is in the mid stages or beyond, there might be some things that people need to know. Go ahead and acquaint people with the situation to the degree that you're comfortable, just so that they're prepared and that they do not interfere with your loved one or set expectations that your loved one simply can't meet. Pack comfortable items and have a backup or an emergency plan if there's an incident or accident during this time. Come prepared. Be prepared for everything, not only an extra set of clothing or having room and flexibility in your schedule so that if you do need to pull back on plans, that you can do so with comfort and expectation. Make sure that there are rest periods and times that you have set into this. So if you anticipate any anxiety or any angst on the part of your loved one or friend, that you stop and take a breath and make note of that to decrease any undue anxiety in around travel and the holidays. Keep the person informed and reassured. What I mean by that is we've talked about telling them, but you need to remember that they may forget what you told them 5 minutes ago, yesterday, last week. Go ahead and reassure the individual with just a short phrase or a short sentence like, Mom, I am really excited that you and I are going to visit your daughter, your sister, your niece and nephew. They're going to be so excited to see you. They are going to love to see you. Something in that manner. Great details are not necessary in these kinds of situations, but it just keeps them informed and it helps you reassure that they understand what the plan is, what you're doing at the moment to just avoid any kind of confusion or anxiety. Provide a travel checklist. Make sure that you have everything you need, such as ID, medications, any essential documents that you may need in and around the individual. Really important to do that. Highlight the importance of scheduling breaks and quiet time. I know that you might be on a tight schedule, and that's why I recommend that you plan ahead. Don't make that schedule so tight and so inflexible that there's not an opportunity to take a breath if you need to do so. That will keep your travel smooth. And I think that some people don't have any problem traveling, but you need to anticipate and you need to plan ahead for the person with dementia. They're not as flexible as they used to be. And there's certain things that may present an issue for them, such as unfamiliar environments, such as crowded airports, such as a change in the weather or environmental factors like noise. Those are the kinds of things. Just accommodate for them, be aware of them, and have a plan if those things come into play. We do suggest that you make seating arrangement that help keep the individual calm, not only in an airplane, but when you go into restaurants or however you have to engage upon the trip, make sure you take that into account. Give yourself time and plan ahead. I think that this tip and the next ones will be very helpful to you as you move forward in this holiday season. So the next tip that I want to talk about is creating a dementia-friendly home environment for visitors. This is going to be really important for you to enjoy the holidays and to help individuals that are going to interact with your loved one, whether they're relatives or friends, to be able to do it in a smoother manner. Don't automatically assume that your loved one is going to connect with everybody who comes to visit them, even if it's a relative or just a friend. You will need to help make that connection and watch for that to make sure they connect, that they recognize. If they don't, gently introduce the person, gently say their name, and maybe the relationship or how they know them without causing embarrassment to the person who has dementia. We want the environment to be safe and welcoming. And for the person who is either being visited or visiting over the holidays, we want to be sure that we're making them aware of where they are, what we're doing, and how long we're going to be there during these visits or visits from other people. Make sure that pathways are clear and well lit in your home or the home or area that you're visiting. Remove any hazards or things that they might trip on. And the reason for that is visual deficits may be different than they used to be. We do not want to put obstacles in their way or make it difficult for them to navigate seating or making their way through a dark restaurant. This can really add stress to the situation. Take that into account. Incorporate familiar items into the situation, whether it be the decor, if it's at your own home or somewhere else you're going. That will provide orientation and comfort. People with dementia often relate to the environment around them, helps them process what we're doing, where we're at, and what's going on. Those kind of cues are going to be important in navigating the holiday season. And they're really very helpful for the individual. It helps them feel comfortable, helps them feel secure, and really connects them to the holiday season and the event that you are currently participating in. Label any bathrooms or any rooms that they will be navigating for ease of navigation. Always cue them where the bathrooms are, where you're going to be, where you're going to be sitting. All of those things are really, really important. Do not assume that the person with dementia knows those things. And when they come out of the bathroom, be right there to cue them, to receive them, to make them feel at ease. Let's talk about safety in and around like holiday decorations, that kind of thing. It's really important that if there's a sensitivity to light, such as blinking lights, try and avoid blinking lights, loud noises, those kinds of things as you're engaging in holiday events and with your holiday decor. These kind of things can kind of throw the person off. That's really important. Let's talk about the value of creating the personal environment through personal items. Oftentimes, what I recommend is that you bring something along that's personal to the individual and allow them to hang on to it or have that. People with dementia often reflect on something that's close to their heart, something that they're comfortable with, and having that personal item, whether it's a pillow or a picture or whatever the case might be, can really help them focus and become comfortable because they connect to a personal item, which provides familiarity to them. Really important tip. Provide any small adjustments that need to take place in the setup of your holiday arrangements or your holiday parties. And we'll talk about that more in the next segment. But if you need the person to only be there for the first part of the event or the last part of the event because of timing and because just to introduce themselves, don't always expect the individual to be able to participate in each and everything that there is to participate in. This is going to really make the difference in the holiday experience. My last tip of the day is about inclusive holiday meals for people who have dementia. Plan meals that are easy and familiar to their taste. Introducing new foods or new experiences during the holiday season may not always be the best thing to do. Someone who has had traditions and certainly someone who has ate the same kind of foods during the holiday season all of their life, it's not really a good time to introduce new foods or try new experiences, but they're not going to connect it to old memories. Plan familiar type of meals and things that maybe their mother made or that they made and contributed to the holidays. This is going to help them experience and enjoy the holiday season a little bit more. Avoid dishes that are hard to chew, hard to hold on to, or hard to swallow. Tend to make things easier. Don't serve foods that are kind of sloppy. We don't want to cause embarrassment. You might even go with serving finger foods for the individual if they're progressed in their dementia. And then simplify the dining table, the table setting, in a way that avoids confusion. Don't put a lot of clutter in the area. Don't have a whole buffet on the table and fully set. That can provide a lot of noise, a lot of choice issues, all of those kinds of things. And we want to simplify serving courses Allow them simple choices. It's really going to help in their holiday experience. Share recipes, versions of holiday recipes and dishes that are dementia-friendly, such as soft foods or finger foods. If they're no longer able to have good dexterity and they need a little assistance, perfectly acceptable appetizers work very, very well. Finger foods, hors d'oeuvres, that kind of thing. Let's talk about the benefits of consistent meal times and small portions. We do not want to overwhelm this individual with this large buffet plate of food that is overwhelming, that's confusing. Smaller is better. Stay on track with portion and meal times to keep the person hydrated, as well as good nutrients in their body. Smaller portions are easier to manage, even if you serve your meal in courses. It will help them enjoy the meal more. Offer holiday treats really in a safe way, such as soft cookies. Avoid things that are going to be hard for them to handle, be hard for them to chew, or be hard for them to swallow. These are just some of the things that I think will help you during this holiday season. I hope that a few of these tips have helped you. I wish you happy holidays, and I hope that you and your loved ones have a wonderful holiday season. Please stay tuned. Return next week to hear the rest of our holiday tips. Until next time, this is Dawn Platt. Make it a memorable day.
Thank you for joining us for the Disappearing Mind podcast. We hope it's helped you find clarity and support along your journey. Be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode, visit our website to suggest future topics, and share the podcast with friends and family.